Jorginho was classy against West Ham today. I feel like he kept things ticking, he was composed, he was marking the space really, really well. So I'm going to be talking about his performance and just analysing why I feel like he's such a crucial element to our season. Well, before I begin, if you are new here, please hit the like, hit the subscribe too, it'll be greatly appreciated. But yeah, Jorginho is one of those players who a lot of Arsenal fans for years have been saying, he'll be the midfielder to move on. He's the midfielder that we're happy to sort of replace. But his profile to the way we play is so crucial. I think that Jorginho and Rice pivot is just so good in that it gets the best out of Declan Rice. If you have noticed, Declan Rice always plays a lot better next to Jorginho rather than next to Thomas Partey, and that's no criticism to Partey, who has actually been fantastic himself. It's just that for the way that Rice is, he needs somebody next to him that is a dictator of play, somebody who can play the passes, because he isn't as progressive, he isn't as technical to find the passes that Jorginho does. And what Jorginho needs from Rice is the ability to cover space, to cover the ground, because obviously Jorginho hasn't got the athleticism. So that's the perfect blend between both of them. And we're in this situation where we've just got four fantastic midfielders in great form: Marino, Partey, Jorginho and Rice. So Arteta has to make a massive decision. Hopefully Thomas Partey isn't out for too long, because I feel like he's been really good this season, of course. But I want to talk about Jorginho. 90 minutes played, 62 touches, 83% pass accuracy as well, 2 out of 3 accurate long balls. He just has that composure in that midfield when needed. There was times where we needed the tempo to be controlled. West Ham scored those 2 goals which came out of nothing really, but Jorginho was able to slow the game down, get the troops together, had this calmness to that midfield. It's really good. He's a sort of metronome sort of player, somebody who's going to dictate the play, have this sort of dictator sort of ship in the attacking third, but also in the defensive third too. And it really is important. I would see him at times, camp at the edge of the West Ham box when we're in possession to kind of squeeze the play. And it's really underrated how important that is from a midfielder. We need somebody from the midfield in the 6 to be able to be camping the West Ham players in, because it allows Gabriel and Saliba to get a bit higher as well, and we were able to play. It was a really nice game to watch, to be honest, as a neutral, I'm sure too. 7 goals, 5-2. There was a lot of great performances, but I wanted to talk about Jorginho first. Now let us just get more onto the other players. I think Saka as well was absolutely unreal. Fantastic player. The way he sort of is, the way he carries himself is so impressive. Taking the penalty, offering the penalty to Ødegaard as well. It's what you want to be seeing, because there's been demons for Saka at the London Stadium, and I feel like there's this sort of rule as well when it comes to penalties. If there's a long waiting time, maybe give it to Ødegaard, or maybe it was probably due to Ødegaard actually asking to have the penalty, but Saka is happy to give it to Ødegaard, who put it away really nicely. But the skill as well from Saka to win the penalty initially, that first one was so good. He's just so silky, so good. He's now up to 10 assists this season. He's almost half, I think, of Henry's record, so it's really good going. If we can keep him consistent near the opposition's box, we have a great chance this season. It's just about maximising Bukayo Saka, maximising his qualities in the attacking third, making sure he doesn't have to run backwards a lot. And actually that is due to Julian Timber. I feel like Julian Timber's role is so key in the way that Saka is playing. He's now able to be closer to the goal because Timber's so good 1v1. He's like, Saka, you know what? You play higher. I can deal with my winger 1v1. And yeah, Timber again, absolutely unreal. I'm running out of words to describe him because he's almost a defensive beast, but he also offers the on-the-ball quality. He was almost like a five-a-side baller, someone who you can put in the centre-forward role and he'd be so technical. Centre-half, technical. Left-back, technical. Central defensive midfield, technical. 8, technical. He really has all the attributes to thrive all over that midfield, all over that back line, all over the forward line too. He's just a pure footballer. That's why I love getting players from Ajax. Everyone that is signed from Ajax is just a pure baller, and I can't believe Timber was signed for only around £37 million. Still shocks me to this day how cheap Timber was. When you think about the competition, you think about the teams like Manchester United who were going over for every single Dutch player. To get Timber for that low of a price, it is absolutely insane. Obviously Martin Ødegaard too, really good to have him back, to have him flowing, to have him cooking. We needed his technical ability, we needed his ability to roam, receive the ball in tight spaces, and he did that. He's just so good in the link-up play with Saka. He almost goes to the other side of the pitch as well. He's able to roam to that side of the pitch, and it just gives us extra options to be able to overload the box, and it just has so many rotations can happen now. Of course, Calafiori and Timber as well in those fullback areas, they're natural, they can come into the the midfield. They can drift into those wide areas. You can find them left back, right back. It doesn't matter. They're really, really good at switching. And to confuse low blocks, you need to have players who can roam about and really, really sort of pick areas in the pitch where they see space and not think twice, because they are absolutely comfortable in those zones. Trossard as well, thought he was pretty good. He gets a lot of criticism from us Arsenal fans purely because, you know, I feel like he really does demand to start games, but sometimes you just see him sort of drift in games. We want to see it for the full 90 minutes, see him perform, you know, not kind of see him have to sort of come off the bench and make an impact, then start the next game, don't make an impact. But today he really did make an impact. I feel like his sort of combination play, the ability to keep the ball was there as well. He scored that nice little tap in, involved, knows where to sniff the goal is, and that's really, really important. It's going to be a big game against Manchester United in the week. It's going to have to be Arteta again getting the selection right. I'm sure there was a few eyebrows raised at the start, certainly from me. Marino, Partey, I really expected them to be in there, but Jorginho came in, did his job, was absolutely unreal. I thought Trossard starting, I wanted to see Sterling, but I feel like Sterling and Jesus in their cameos, it's really, really unimpressive so far. But hopefully they just need 90 minutes to show what footballers they are. But anyway, that's it for now, goodness. Let me know your thoughts on the game, and until next time, peace.